and I repeat, the Taliban attacked the United States of America. So we're going to do our introduction. Last week we had some technical difficulties, but I want to thank all the people who support the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association. I want to thank the fans, the groups, the supporters. I want to thank the constituents and the stakeholders and the taxpayers and everybody and every organization and every church that supports the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association. God bless you. We need you. You make our show everything that it is. We would be nothing without you, the viewers. So continue to watch and continue to learn. And remember, on this show, we do civil, constitutional, human, and amendment rights. Okay, let's get ready for the introduction to the show, which we do every single week. This introduction to the show was, I produced it, I put it together. It is the late Martin Luther King and the late Marvin Gaye. So check out our introduction, and I'm going to unwind a little bit here and get ready for the show.
So we've come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We have also come to this house to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to turn our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality.
Talk to me so you can see.
Okay, so now that was the introduction. You are live on the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association Speaks Out. I'm Eddie Jones, your host, and as we do every week, we always have a distinguished guest. You know, in times where we have shows where we just have the whole studios full of people. I want to say hello to all the people in the United States of America, no matter what state, city, or country you're in. And I also want to say hello to all people that are abroad, around the world. Thank you for listening and watching the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association Speaks Out. Today we're going to have our news, our quick news, which we always do, and then we're going to have a very open topic, because today's future, it's based on our children. Today's future is based on our children. So we will be discussing today with an author of a book who has written a book that has to do with educating, uplifting, and teaching our children. And when I say our children, it doesn't matter where the children are from around the world. They all need to be taught. So that's a very, very important topic, because the next judge, the next whoever, those are our children. So we have to train them right. Let's introduce our distinguished guest and bring our guest onto the show. Mr. Taylor? How you doing, Mr. Taylor? Come on in, have a seat, Mr. Taylor. And how's everything going?
Oh, it's going good. Glad to be here.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association Speaks Out. And you know, on our show we talk about civil, constitutional, human, and amendment rights. Right now, I just want you to just introduce your book, and then I'm going to go into the quick news, and we'll come back later and we'll discuss your book. Is that okay?
Well, the title of the book is called Voices to Our Children. And like Mr. Jones indicates, it's for all kids, all children across the country and across the world. It's also a gift for our children. And once the family and the kids get the opportunity to read and adjust to the book, they will see why it is a gift for our kids.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Mr. Taylor about this book, and this book is going to be a blessing This won't fall on deaf ears. If your kids are at home right now, it'll be a good time to pull into the screen so they can get some education on this too. But right now we're going to go into our news segment because news is everything. And we have to keep up with what's going on, not only here in the United States of America, not only here in Los Angeles, California, but around the world. Okay? So this is what I want to start off with. Let's start off with 9/11. 9/11. 9/11 happened 9 years ago. It's amazing. 9/11, 9 years ago. Wasn't that something?
Sure was.
It was an experience that a lot of people never thought that would happen in the United States of America. But it just goes to show us all around the world that we too have weaknesses. And when people find out what your weaknesses are, that's when they play on it.
Yes.
And so the United States of America has, since then, increased its security 100 times. And I'm sure they're much more equipped for these type of situations now. However, on that day, who would have ever thought it just looked like something out of a movie? Josh, do we have a picture of the airplane running into the Twin Towers? As you can all see right now, those airplanes that ran into the Twin Towers would be the difference in what could happen in America. It really shook the United States of America, and I'll never forget the look on George Bush's face when he was there telling the kids a story, speaking to kids.
Exactly.
He was telling the kids a story. He was reading a story, and all of a sudden the Secret Service guy goes up to him and whispers in his ear, we don't know what he said, but whatever he said, George Bush did not move for like 30 seconds. He did not move. And me personally, had I been the president of the United States of America at that time, as soon as he would have said, I would have said, "Excuse me, kids, I'll be right back," and I would have went straight to the car where the secret presidential phone is, and I would have pressed the red button, and in less than 5 minutes, our attack jets would have been up in the air, on their way to stop those planes from running into those buildings. That was the #1 priority. The safety of the United States of America. However, it didn't quite happen that way. George Bush, he froze, and he didn't say a word. And then after that, I don't know if what happened, but what did happen after that, we will remember, never to forget.
But you know, the main thing about 9/11 is, once you say remember never to forget, is we can't associate the religion with the group that did it.
Now that's my topic for later. We're going to talk about that later. And I also, I brought the newspaper, The Final Call, because when I saw, this situation going on, I said, this is something that we all need to talk about. If the president can talk about it, we need to back the president, and we need to talk about it too. So I think that's a wonderful topic, and we're going to get on that. And I just want to go back to this. I saw the movie where that one airplane landed by the Capitol, but it didn't hit. But it was trying to hit, and I forgot the name of the movie. But those passengers got up and kicked some butt to the end of their life. And that was what stopped that plane from going any further into the White House that it did.
And that was a courageous effort on part of the passengers to get up, and they knew that death was in it. That they weren't going to avoid it, but they had an opportunity to stop it before it did any more damage.
And now that's what made the history, the amazing history, and saved so many lives. I mean, a lot of lives were lost, but a lot of lives were saved. And that's what I want to focus on here on 9/11. I feel that America needs to work on forgiveness. Even in God's Word, it says we should forgive and forget. But that's a topic that we will get into. Can we shoot over to the President of the United States of America? First of all, I want to give President Obama my own personal ratings. My own personal ratings. Receiving the Nobel Peace Prize, you get 100%. Doing the health care bill, you get 100%. Doing the elderly, taking care of the elderly and senior citizens with Social Security, you get 100% for signing that bill. You also get 100% for signing a bill for people to get jobs. Let's talk about jobs. Jobs is what we are talking about right now in the United States of America. We need jobs. As you can see, the economy right now is amazing. No one wants to buy a home right now. People are losing their businesses. People are losing their libraries. People are losing mailboxes on their corners. It's a sign of the times. So I'm saying today that we need to continue to talk about jobs. So,
But, you know, my thing is, do you think the banks are helping them establish jobs?
well, you know what's
We
amazing?
don't need help. That's one of the things.
You know, it's something, he bailed out the banks.
Mm-hmm.
The banks better bail out the United States of America. Because if it wasn't for the president bailing them out, you get 100% on that too, Obama. You bailed out the banks. You bailed out the car companies. You bailed out America. And when the oil spill came, Obama stood up like any president should. And he took the load on his shoulders, and he came on public television, and he made statement after statement. He got on his airplane, and he flew to those people where the oil spills were. He talked to them. He's been doing everything that he can. There's one thing that I don't think that any president in the United States of America should ever have to do, is bow down to a man who wants to burn the Holy Quran on today, 9/11. No president should have to answer to such a small peon such as this guy,
Exactly.
who thinks he can control Secret Service, the FBI, and the CIA. It's not going to happen. And if he does burn a Quran, he will be burning America.
Exactly.
And if he does that, and that won't happen, because the United States will not allow that to happen. So I think that this particular Reverend Jones, you know who I'm talking about, this guy has a problem. He's a walking, ticking time bomb. He is the Taliban right now.
See, what he's done is he's stirred interest, bad interest, up that was already in the pot. So now he's had an opportunity to have a voice on TV to say, this is what we are really thinking about.
You
as
know,
bad America.
you know, Mr. Taylor, I don't think that Donald Trump should be able to come in and say he wants to buy that mosque.
No.
No one should be able to come and buy that mosque. The mosque was there since 1999. It just didn't come there overnight. It's been there. It's a place for people to pray. The Baptist church is a place for people to pray. The Christian church is a place for people to pray. The Catholic church is a place for people to pray. The Protestant church is a place for people to pray. What in the world is wrong with having a mosque at Ground Zero 4 blocks away? It's 4 blocks away.
But see, you know what people have done, they made Ground Zero a holy place. But they forget about there's a strip joint right around the corner.
Yeah, there is a strip. Matter of fact, there's more than one strip joint around the corner.
Right.
They have strip joints. They'll accept the strip joint, but they won't accept the place to pray.
Right.
I'm confused.
And if there was a Baptist church that wanted to buy that building, nothing would be said about it.
Nothing at all. Matter of fact, let's remember never to forget. All of the Muslims in America did not make 9/11 happen. That's impossible. So all the people who are hating, who have animosity, who have corruption in your heart, and you want to see young women and children die and kicked out of America, you know what it takes me to? It takes me back to when African Americans first came to America as slaves. That's what it takes me back to.
You know, and Mr. Jones, you really have to challenge this Christianity by doing something like this. I mean, are Christians like this? You know,
What would Jesus do?
yeah.
You know, what would Jesus do? I mean, I don't think that Jesus hated anyone, did he?
No.
Matter of fact, he walked and he healed the sick and gave the blind sight to see. He healed the leopard and he gave favor to the unfavored. He walked, I will make you fishermen of men.
There you go.
That means I will go out and get the people and save them, not hate them.
That's right. And when you look at it, we're all a part of each other.
But does that give Satan more power? That's the question. Because to me, you're giving Satan power when you hate all these people. And you want to start a fire. And you want to burn their flag. And it just, where does it end? It doesn't end. And you wonder why people feel the way that they do. But where is the love?
I'm glad you brought that up because it doesn't take much to hate somebody.
No, it doesn't.
It takes a whole lot to love somebody.
You know what?
It takes
You know,
a whole lot.
I have to totally, man, I'm in total agreement on that one. It does. And so, on that note, we're going to move on just wanted to talk a little bit about it, but let's say this.